welcome to Saberduelgaming, where we always take the high ground, and welcome to another hands-on with Saberduelgaming. And yes, these are my hands. I don't know why I say that at the start of every single one of these. And today we are going to be looking at, as you may be able to tell from here, some of my Super Mario Brothers merchandise. Not just Mario Brothers, but the entire sort of franchise. I've picked some random bits dating from stuff that I got only in the last year or so to stuff that I got right back when I was 9 years old. So let's take a little look through some of these fantastic pieces of Mario merchandise. So we are going to start with this, and I'm doing this off the bat because it's actually not one piece of merchandise, it's actually two. You will know if you've watched any other of these videos before that I do love my Lego, so there's quite a bit of Lego stuff. This is an official Super Mario Brothers Lego set. It's what's called a poly bag, where you have a small polystyrene bag with a quick build in it. And it's a fantastic little build. We've got the question mark up here, and we've got the mushroom. This was meant to work with some of the bigger Super Mario sets. This, on the other hand, is the only piece of unofficial Mario merchandise I will be showing you today. I actually got a few of these at it was actually a Christmas present off of a very wonderful person, but it came from a market in Manchester, England. But I put these two together because, come on, it looks awesome. It's like a mini representation of Mario in the Mushroom Kingdom. We also have this wonderful little coin piece here, and yeah, there is some much bigger Super Mario Brothers sets from Lego. But this one, I think it's tiny, it's cute, and I just think it is wonderful. A little Lego Mushroom Kingdom land that I can just keep and enjoy whenever I like. Up next, we have something that is definitely official. This is the Blu-ray Power Up edition, although it's probably the only edition they released, of the Super Mario Brothers movie, the animated one by Nintendo and Illumination. This was, if you haven't seen it, a fantastic film, and of course gives us the very trending and very popular Peaches music video by Jack Black. But a fantastic film. The original Super Mario Brothers movie, which I think I also have, I have not included in this because, oh, it's the worst. This one is a brilliant film. If we have a look inside, it has the little recycle thing there, recycle plastic, and we actually have Luigi on the disc, which is quite cool. Gives him his moment. To be fair, Luigi was as much the star of this one as Mario was, and he sort of replaced what was usually Peach or Daisy's role of being kidnapped, which gave us a very different dynamic, and I thought was quite cool for the film. Up next, we have probably the oldest, or at least joint oldest pieces of gaming merchandise here. This is the Koopa Paratrooper, the flying red shell Koopa we see in loads of the Mario games. This is actually a McDonald's toy that came with the Happy Meals back in 1989. Now, full disclosure, I didn't actually get this with a Happy Meal. Back in 1989, we could not afford Happy Meals, so I did not get it. I actually got this at, I think it was some sort of car boot sale or charity event where there was loads of random bits of knickknacks around. And as someone who was just vaguely getting into the Super Mario games at the time, bear in mind I didn't actually have a NES when it first came out, so I only got to see it in glimpses. I was instantly attracted to this. Probably cost about 30 pence, 50 pence or something like that. I actually checked online when I was trying to find exactly when it was released. There were a ton of these selling on eBay for between £3 to £6 UK money. So if you see this and go, wow, I remember that, I wish I still had one. There are a load of them on eBay going relatively cheap, so go and pick one up. It has a little piece here which looks like something must have clicked into it, and these parts move. But for the life of me, I've never known how it was supposed to work. But this is something I've kept ever since, and it actually sits at my little gaming setup along with a bunch of other knickknacks linked to video games. Here we have one of two actual video games. I have tons of Super Mario video games. This is probably the oldest. Dr. Mario. I only actually have physical copies of two original Game Boy games, Tetris and this. This actually isn't one that I had when I was younger. I actually found this at a game store with loads of secondhand games, and it was there available for, I think it was around £6, and I just snapped it up. I mean, not specifically because the game itself, and although the game itself was pretty decent, but just to be able to start to increase my Game Boy catalogue of games. Unfortunately, there is no outer box for this, but we do still have these really cool Game Boy container boxes. The outer box for Game Boy games were cardboard, and many of them didn't survive from the original release to now, but still, this is just an absolute classic piece of merchandise. Up next, I've got one of two things that I'm going to show you today that were actually free gifts with the Nintendo magazine. I don't even know if the Nintendo magazine still runs, but back when it did, it regularly came with free gifts, and this was one of my favorites. This is, of course, a Nintendo Wii controller, the main pad part that you have the nunchuck that plug in there. And one of the Nintendo magazines came with 4 of these fantastic covers. All of them, you can't really see it properly on here for some reason, but they were hologram ones, so the characters would move around. This one is the Super Mario World one. There was also one for Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3. This is probably the one that survived the best. But all of my Nintendo my Nintendo Wii pads have still got one of these on. So I don't actually have any of the pads without these. I put them all on back then. I just think these were absolutely fantastic. We've got this classic scene of Mario in Super Mario World. We've got the red shell over here flying towards the poor guy it's been taken off. Yeah, just lovely. I mean, there you go. If we turn it that way, you can see. There you go. You can see Yoshi's egg popping up there. So if we do it this way, you can see Mario down on Yoshi down here. So for some reason, if I turn it this way, now you can see it perfectly. There we go. Glad we did that. I have got one more actual video game for you, and it's one of my favorites of all time. Super Mario 64 was an absolute leap forward in games. I can't remember a console since that has come from its predecessor and made such a massive change than the Nintendo 64 did to the SNES. New consoles come out all the time now and are re-released every few years. They don't really make a massive graphical or gameplay improvement. The Nintendo 64 over the SNES was revolutionary, and this game was at the forefront of it. Super Mario 64 is one of the best games that this epic little plumber starred in. This was a true 3D game. You could explore whole new worlds. The audio, the sound in it was absolutely beautiful. Some of my favourite memories were playing this game, and some of my trickiest and more frustrated memories were playing this game as well. But it was absolutely amazing. I still have a copy of it that I play now on the Nintendo Switch, but this game was so good. And I've actually still got almost all of my Nintendo 64 games, and this one has a pride of place. Just absolutely stunning. And I love the writing on this. The Super Mario all in colours, but the 64 in red with that gold emblazoned around it just to make it stand out a little bit different. So it fits with the actual text for the game, but it's also making it clear that this is a 64 game as well. But yeah, fantastic. And where we have our Nintendo official stamp of approval. Damn right. This is a very random one. A sweatband. Yes, because back in my 20s, I was always wearing these things. I don't know. You can judge, you can not. I don't care. But this one was one I got as a sort of a make do. I had this logo, this Game Over logo with the Lost Levels deadly little mushroom here. I had that on a t-shirt, and it was probably my favorite t-shirt at the time. It was a black t-shirt, the big neon pink mushroom on, the skull and the game over emblazoned, and on the t-shirt the game over was very much in like 8-bit graphics. It was so cool. And I lost the t-shirt. I think I'd gone to a festival or something, and I just had something had happened. I genuinely can't remember, but I remember just not being able to find it. I went through every t-shirt I had, contacted every friend I had. Nowhere. It was gone. And I couldn't buy it again. It wasn't in the shops anymore. I went around a fair few different places to get it and couldn't. But I did find this, and it was the same mark, the exact same logo on a wristband. And I remember thinking I could spend ages trying to search for this t-shirt, but I wouldn't find it. And instead, I got this. And it was as a good way of making peace with my loss. We've got the official Nintendo logo on the back. This is official Nintendo merchandise, and this is just so cool. I have had this since I was about 22-ish. I'm 44 now, so half my life I've had this epic piece of merchandise. And then we have this, the Waddington's Super Mario Bros. Blockbuster card game. This, if we look on the back, 1992, so the second oldest piece of merchandise we have here. I would have been 12 years old when this game was released. I actually am showing this as something as a make-weight. I also had a Super Mario Bros. Board game, which was so cool. That, however, has long since been given away to a charity shop, not by me, so I'm not taking the blame for that. But this was something that came out when Mario was kind of at its boom peak. The cards inside feature all kinds of the most popular characters and iconic. Got the mushrooms here, the coins, Mauser, lots of mushrooms. Bowser again here. We've got Wart. We have Little Goomba. Oh, the Piranha Plant, Mario, of course. Claw Grip again. Princess Toadstool, she gets lots of coins. Boom Boom. Bullet Bill, Luigi. Yeah, this... the Hammer Bros, I forgot about them. Yeah, this was a fantastic little card game and something that was quite fun to play. Really quite easy to play, but it is the art style on this I love. On the back of the cards, it's got the Mario brick feature with Super Mario Brothers there written on it. Yeah, this is in perfect condition. The box is, as you can see, slightly scuffed, especially at the corners, but the actual cards are still in perfect condition as they were when I first got it as a kid. But this was one of those pieces of merchandise that I probably didn't appreciate it as much when I was a kid as I do now. I enjoyed it, I played it, but I wasn't as much into card games. I liked board games a bit more. I'm so glad, in a sense, because the fact that I didn't play them as much is probably why they're in such perfect condition now. And that just means I get to enjoy it as an adult instead of as a kid. Which, yeah, that's great. Love this game. And here it is. This is the other of the 2 free gifts that came with Nintendo Magazine. I don't know if it has the year in this. Let's see, 2006. Yeah, this is like a tiny little encyclopedia that came out around the time of, I think, so this would have been around the time of the is it the SNES, or have we actually got some Nintendo 64 stuff in here as well? I think we probably have, yeah. Yeah, Nintendo 64, yeah. This is just so cool. We've got lovely animation style inside, really bright, vivid, colourful pictures, lots of information, and unlike a lot of these kinds of freebie things, it's not just the basic information that everyone knows. It does cover things like the warp zones, it covers some of the sort of lesser known information as well. We've got the Sky Pop there from Super Mario Land. It talks a little bit about the music. Oh, it even goes as far, yeah, the new Super Mario Brothers from the Nintendo DS. Yeah, we've got the mini mushroom here as well. Mega Mushroom. Oh, the classic Mario Brothers, the original. This is just, as soon as I finish making this, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to start reading through this again because it's been a long time. I actually had this as a kid and I gave it to my mum because she had started playing Super Mario Land on the Game Boy. So I gave it to her. This is 25 years of Mario Miscellanea. And she ended up putting it on a shelf. And in a sense, that is probably why it's so well preserved, because she just kept it on one side. Whereas as a kid, I probably would have gone through different phases wanting to cut the pictures out and do all kinds of wacky stuff or just throw it away when I wasn't as interested in Mario for a period. So having given this to my mum is what has preserved it so perfectly. Yeah, I'm definitely reading this. Once this video is made, I'm just reading this. So yeah. Now, this is the end of the merchandise. But we still have one thing. This. This is, of course, Saberduelgaming logo that I have made into like a nice little steel plaque. I sort of got it for myself as a little present when I hit 50 subscribers, I think it was, and I'd made this. But I wanted to show this because, as you can see, the background to it, although we can see Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi here, is the level from the original Super Mario Brothers. And I just wanted to emphasize this because it's just an indicator of just how important the Super Mario games are to me and to Saberduelgaming and to my, I don't want to say career, but I suppose my lifelong interest in games. The Super Mario games has always been a part of it since I played Super Mario Land on the original Game Boy, all the way up to right now. I still play Mario games now. So, yeah, thank you, Mario, for Saberduelgaming's greatest moments. So there we are, some of my favourite pieces of gaming merchandise, all to do with this guy right here, Super Mario, and his entire group, his entire franchise. Yeah, these are some fantastic pieces. I'm so glad I've still got them all. While there are many pieces that I wish I still had, these are some of my favourites. But what about you? Do you have any particular pieces of Mario merchandise that you think I'd be interested in? Please do comment below and let me know a little bit about them. Is there any of these pieces you've got or you remember having in your youth? Who knows? Again, comment below, let me know. And if there's any other particular franchises you'd like to see gaming merchandise from that I might have, again, let me know what they are. Until next time, put a like on the video if you have enjoyed it, and of course, take the high ground.